Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a Platinum Brand versus a Platinum TALIYAH. Now, this is a fresh account brand, except the win rate is sub 50%, 18, 19 or whatever. And that's because a lot of players think they are stuck in an elo and go ahead and hand level an account. Obviously, that's all we endorse around here because, honestly, you should. And you're not going to be in a situation where if you're honestly hard stuck in Platinum, Emerald, Silver, Bronze, Diamond, where you make a new account and you're just going to Astro Smurf it up to another tier. You will get stuck, eventually, exactly where you were. Now, there are exceptions where you've played, 10,000 games and you're stuck and, I thought the Q missed for a second, and you're going to have the issue of, your MMR being too bad. But sustained winning over time always fixes MMR. I've just had someone that I've worked with that was getting like plus 22, minus 26. Guess what he's getting now? Plus 31. How do we do it? Sustained winning over time. It takes a few weeks, but everyone can do it. Now, the brand here is done as blue side. We're 230 onto the Raptors. That's solid. Starting with the Q exactly as you should be, right? We made a point in the patch notes to let you know that there's a lower cooldown than W and does more damage than W. And when you're full clearing in the jungle, the spam spell is what you want to use. Now, obviously with brand, you have your passive. When you hit someone with an ability, they get set ablaze, not like Johnny Blaze, and, well, especially not from that first movie. That was not a good movie. Obviously, the ablaze targets, when you hit them with another spell, get bonus applications. So you really want to be able to hit a spell and then hit your Q when you're trying to fight people in the jungle, because not necessarily here, you just want to maximize your damage. Your W does bonus damage, so if you hit something with a spell, like say your E or your Q, and then you hit them with a W, bonus damage. If you do it with your Q, they get stunned for 1.5 seconds. E, it gets spread even further. Nice brand virus. Now, 327 for a full clear, matching the TALIYAH here. Here we go. You see that little root there? That was huge. We get disengaged down. We have the Zoe pushing out the mid lane here. So let's just assess some of the jungling. Once we've gotten all the MMR, hard stuck, preamble, and the brand jungle stuff out of the way. The TALIYAH is going to come out at 327. The thing is, a brand can do a 3-minute flat clear. Literally 3 minutes flat. He can do this. Why are we 30 seconds behind tempo? If you want help implementing this information into your own game, I have a free jungle improvement resource as well as a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching VOD libraries, weekly free video content seen nowhere else, as well as Q&As and patch note rundowns, as well as a private jungle Discord. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's converting junglers to gold, to emerald, to diamond, to master plus. If you want to climb faster than anyone you know, jungle div every game you play, click the link below or head to virkayu.gg. And obviously in this case, go watch the replays of the high elo brands, go study the quadrant clears, right? So if a brand gets leashed on the blue side, at what point does he cross to the red side, right? At what point? And then look at your own replay and go, wow, I'm losing 10 seconds on blue side. But if you're equal on blue side, and then you're 30 seconds behind on red side, then you're mismanaging something horribly. So you can really isolate where you're having that issue, copy, emulate, replicate, and do that. We're not going to do that in every single video, obviously, because that would take a lot of time. So here, we hit, obviously, whoopsie, wrong person. We hit here the E into the Q, which will give us the stun, and then obviously we can apply W on the stun target. That's the easy way to do it. Point and click into skill shots, and she takes so much damage here. Honestly, what you could look to do, based upon your CDRs, is potentially flash over the W. Flash forward over the W here and start to leverage that new attack speed buff we got on the mages, right? You can attack speed a little faster, so your downtime DPS between your spells being up is more, but you really have to be confident. So for example, on a Zyra here, I'm 100% flashing it because I know my cooldown's like the back of my hand. I know I can space and avoid her Q again, and I know she's going to flash as well, but that doesn't concern me. Because if I flash her W, I take less damage, significantly, so I'm way healthier. She's already pre-chunked, she's already still ablaze here, burning down, and all you need is your Q to come up and hit that. You hit that, most likely you're going to have a dead TALIYAH, because obviously you've got your passive here, which gives you that damage over time, which is why it synergizes so well with, well, Leandries and Rylai's to slow, and obviously percentage max HP is the order of the day. It's the best damage spell you can have. So I do feel like an aggressive flash here would have been really, really good, and I covered a Platinum jungler in coaching yesterday. As always, Black Friday sales, Cyber Week sales the next few days. Go get your discounts on virkayu.gg, but the guy had a great dragon fight here, right? And instead of flashing forwards into a Q flash Lilia ult, which would have triple killed everybody, he flashed away from the damage in fear and died and got collapsed upon and lost a dragon, and the game was really snowballed out of control from that moment. Whereas there's no reason for Brand to kind of give these things up as well. So I do feel like we could have had a nice aggressive play there. TALIYAH's now going to fall backwards. The Brand knows that the Zoe has a prio here. He should not die here. There's no reason for us ever to die here. Nice turn. Run away now. Flash burn by the Zoe. Fine. Fine, right? We take these. The TALIYAH goes back to base, which is great. She doesn't shadow or waste time. This is stupid by the Aatrox. I don't know where he's going. And they duo, actually, so I don't know where. Okay, well, I know he's trying to go to the Zoe, but why? And this is a communication thing. If you're duo with someone, right? Why are you letting him... You're low HP. The Zoe's low HP. She's most likely gone back to base under turret. Like, you're just wasting all your time and pressure here. So... when you're playing with a duo and you're shot calling as a jungler, please understand that your words have power. Like, oh, Zoe, low HP, no flash, go get her. No. Tell him just to chill in lane and relax. Now, TALIYAH's obviously going to come first out of base to take this outside in roll. Very good jungling from the TALIYAH. We checked this. This is nice. So, obviously, you're looking at someone that is definitely adhering to decent practices in Platinum. And, you know, most likely someone who was Emerald, as a fringe Platinum player, and now they're stuck in Platinum on this fresh account and with a sub 50% win rate. And this is what I'm kind of trying to tell you. Look at this. Like, you can have these good practices, but the things that hold you back and keep you stuck are not going to go anywhere. So you're going to end up in the same situation. So now he's going to go and try and do this dragon. I like this. You can pull it out. Obviously, as long as no one clicks, no one's going to see. And that's the most important thing here. He's doing it over the wall here. Really, really easy to have vision thanks to the pet as well. And like, this is a nice little sneak. I like these little vision pocket tricks. We're going to have to relearn all of this in Season 14 because the map's changing completely, isn't it? But yeah, this is pretty good. Little sneak, but obviously you're going to lose farming tempo. So is this an important dragon right now to take versus ganking bottom lane? I have mixed opinions on these kinds of snacks because now we're within vision. They see us. Now they see you walk away, so they know they're safe. And your bottom lane, while they should be resetting, that's important here, they should be resetting. So you take the dragon, you should be resetting. Why are you here? Cool play, right? That's okay. But if your bottom lane don't need to reset, and there's an opportunistic gank you can invest maybe 20 seconds into, do it, right? It's also a good idea. Also, you can go ahead and gank mid lane pre-6. That's something you can do as well, yes? Or you can just keep sequencing. So really, you've got a couple options instead of the dragon. Just decide which you think is the best in the moment. It's really tough always to gauge, but you know categorically that the TALIYAH now has finished her second sequence. And so now just to reposition it, because you don't know, and TALIYAH was holding top lane, so I just want, I know we can all see that, but the Tahm Kench is dead. And you know categorically that the TALIYAH has sequenced all the way up here. So in the event that your top lane is in a regular situation, she could be ganking this. Fortunately, the Aatrox has done some killings and the fish is dead, so you should be safe in this arena, but you never know if she also could have counter-jungled your camps, because the TALIYAH is not going to go hold top lane. We're pinging off the Zoe, obviously. He needs to respect this and just bounce. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Leave. Oh my god, leave. And if you're a duo, you've got to be yelling in the microphone, say, guy, please run away. You are just feeding the TALIYAH. You are feeding the Zoe. And at the same time, what can we do about this as Brand? If it isn't a solo queue, a duo queue. No, nothing. You can do nothing. You can ping him. You can hope he backs off, but he doesn't. So end of story. Like, you accept this. We all have been in the situation. I covered a video yesterday showing you how a Nocturne and Gold can win these games. Just base here, right? Like, there's no point being here whatsoever. The TALIYAH's full sequence to the top side, held top lane, gotten a kill with the Zoe. There's nothing else for her to do here. The only thing else she can do is maybe transition to the mid lane. But you're not going to be able to match this at all. You're not even yet level 6. Just go back to base now, get your blue, and try and impact bottom lane. Start to snowball the Misfortune. Get her ahead a little bit with the Lux, because the Lux and the Misfortune, they can do a lot of stuff versus that comp that you perhaps cannot with your range if you're melee or whatever, but it's really a long-range comp on both sides. A lot of poke. And you want to be able to be the team with a higher poke, because then you'll win, because no one's really getting in on each other, right? Just, you can see the range gap that we have. The TALIYAH obviously is going to go adventuring, but this is the platinum level jungling that you see. Doesn't time the Raptors whatsoever. She should know, hey, look, he's on Dragon. I can easily take all of this. She could have taken all of this away from the Brand, also still gone top lane. Held her Grump for sure, and the Brand could have nothing. So she miscounted jungling as well. But the Brand, like, look at this. Look at this. This is platinum. Look at it. This is... You could not describe a platinum level jungler better than this. Both of them are on equal and opposite sides of the map without seeing each other whatsoever, even though we did see the TALIYAH. No pressing tab, no tracking the CS amounts, nothing. Criminal. This should never happen. And I know we're waiting for this RNG scuttle, but I don't care. I'm not going to waffle around for an RNG scuttle. I know we're going to get level 6 here. We could easily get a kill here. I don't care about any of that, right? Like, none of that matters to me. What if TALIYAH has smite? She does have smite too. Oh, now she's level 6. Now she's just going to ult away and we miss her spells. Off she goes. I mean, like, it's just such a gargantuan waste of time versus being here, doing this, seeing her here, collapsing in our mid lane, knowing she's going to go down, setting a trap, killing her, taking a red, ganking bot lane, thumbs up everybody, push the wave, hit the blades, finish a blue side quadrant, go back to base, go straight to the Herald, GG. You follow? Like, that's what I wanted to see. As soon as TALIYAH shows here, we press tab, we see the CS, 44 CS is a full clear scuttle, plus a second full clear. You know, that's a free base call. Because there's nothing else to do on the top side. Like, what? Why are we here? Why do we go? Where are you going, sir? Guys traveling to Mordor. 10,000 years later. Mordor don't no longer exist. Hey. Now, TALIYAH's created a little bit of temper advantage here, but, like, the brand has given her this temper advantage. So I would say that this guy's completely off. You see the pings now. Get involved. And that's the whole thing. I don't need you to necessarily have shitty ganks. But you do need to be involved in the game. And we walked through a ward because bottom lane had prior, so they've warded it up. Now we're down here. TALIYAH could easily collapse, but obviously she's already topside. Now we're looping around for a bad gank, being baited in by the enemy team. They've gone back to base. We've wasted our time. See, that was not the gank to have. That was not the gank that you wanted to have. TALIYAH is now ready. Look at where the TALIYAH is in comparison. Full clear first. Full clear second. Full clear third. She's almost finished her third sequence, and she's ignored the grump in lieu of doing this herald because she knows Brand's on the bottom side. She could have probably cut in front of wolves to do it, but you know, she was already on the wolves. She goes and does her blue. This is all okay. The alternative is obviously to finish the wolves and just go take his whole top side, gank top lane, and then take the herald with huge prior. But I do understand also, look, I don't need to counter jungle him right now. He's so far behind his sequencing. I can afford to just do the herald. Let him play with his toys because the guy is not fast. So if I just control my own laps, my own sequencing, take the objectives, control the lanes, the branch is not going to be in the game. And that's effectively what she's trying to do, and it's succeeding, right? It's absolutely succeeding. Because you can speed it up, look. He's just going to do his next sequence. The TALIYAH's just going to do this. She's up a 16 CS. She compromised herself, really, by doing the objectives. You see that, though, right? She was up 20. Now she's up 14. It's going to be most likely 12. And then it's going to be 8. Like, she's using the 20 CS lead to take an objective to get more gold. The brand now will have nothing to do again. She can then do it again and get that advantage. So you sort of rubber banding your advantages, but as long as it does this, right? Like, it keeps getting bigger, back and forth bigger. That's what you really want to see. So she goes mid lane here. Zoe is 3-0-0. She's just shoving this out. I mean, I don't really think you need to be doing that, forcing this that much. I do believe this is just a bit too forceful. The Zoe's ahead. There's no stress. You know the brand's topside. Take the Herald. Go kill the brand. Take his shit as well. I don't need to force a Herald to mid lane. You don't need to do that. You know brand's here. If you can kill him, go kill him. Otherwise, just cut across. Take the Scuttle Crab gank bottom lane. Use your Herald here, perhaps. Set up for a dragon. Like, there's a lot of things you could do as a Tilly. Fall back to your Grump. Kill the Aatrox. Go back to base and spend. Down here, gank. Use the Herald. And then do the dragon. A lot of different options that you can use, right? A lot of different options that you can use. The one I would not use ever is the one she's doing. And again, like, he's just going into a jungle. Why? Press tab, track the CS. Huh. I saw TALIYAH with, say, let's just say, she took the Scuttle and I saw with 60 CS. Oh my goodness, 60 CS. And the next time I see her top lane, you know, and say she doesn't do the Herald, say she just does Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, and the Grump, and she shows top lane, you're like, 76 CS, 16 CS, that's 4 camps, and no buffs were up, so she did all her camps. Like, this is easy tracking, right? This is very easy tracking, and you should be able to do this in Platinum. And we teach this in the courses in Silver to get this down because it really changes the nature of your game. And obviously a flash into a flash is fine, but that's a frustration flash. You never really want to do that to a Zoe. We just cut across your 1,000 in pocket. Take the Scuttle Crab. That's great. Great vision from the blue team. You know they're doing that because they have huge prior bottom lane. The Misfortune's getting frustrated because they've been gankable. Now we're forcing this dragon. We're forcing this dragon with no buff prior. And Tom Kench, yes, Tom Kench TPs and shows up. That's okay. That's fine. You cannot control that. But what you can control is not starting the damn dragon in the first place. What you can control is not having 0-0-0 at 11, 12 minutes in the first place. What you can control is not chasing randomly in situations where you know there's nothing to take and you should be on the bottom side ahead of the TALIYAH. Your mistakes as Brand here have cost you tempo. The TALIYAH is consistently ahead of you in decisions, CS, objectives. You have not finished your mythic, she has. And yes, Aatrox didn't listen to those pings, but again, well, I'm on Krugs. You died. You shouldn't have. I'm going to go back to base quickly, try and get down here before the TALIYAH goes back to base, rather than go coin flipping and looking for random stuff. At least to this moment. TALIYAH's up. She's ahead. Good ult. Traps the Victor into pain and suffering and death. Tahm Kench TPs. Oh, the spells are missing too. Caitlyn uses her Prior. I mean, look, your bottom lane didn't have Prior either. You could have created Prior for your bottom lane. Like, pinging them, it doesn't help. You know, it's not their fault. And right here is where you lose games. And you can think you're stuck in Platinum. You can think you're stuck in Emerald. But if this is your way of playing the game, it's got nothing to do with you. The reason you're stuck is because you're coin flipping every game with these decisions. Yeah? You're coin flipping. Oh, yeah, nice. You're coin flipping everything. Oh no, my Gromp was stolen as well. Unlucky. 91 to 76 he has. Chasing. And Deep Vision is obviously very good from the Lux and the Soraka. Sorry, the Caitlyn and the Soraka, but it's what Caitlyn does. That's why you see Vayne's and Kai'Sa still ban her, even though she's not as strong, just because the range is so irritating. Want to make sure she's not in the game against you. The first time all game, we've gone for a gank in the lane. Okay, there we go. We get this done. Hit the W. There we go. Should be able to tick, a blaze, boom, maybe. Shield, gaming, another stun. Let's go. Come on. Whoa. Tahm Kench is a champion that exists in the game. League of Legends, totally fun, totally balanced, totally engaging. As I was saying, this is the first game, the first part of the game where he's been really further ahead than the TALIYAH in terms of getting out somewhere. But because she is so in control and attacks deck portal, she can rotate quickly and she collapses and gets a kill. Obviously, if Brand was further fed and he had more gold, he kills her 1v1. She can do nothing. And it's not even that close. Like, why is Aatrox even here as well? Like, what are you guys doing? Focus on yourselves. No need for new accounts, guys. Just play the game. Play the game and win. There isn't nothing holding you back. Double negative. There is nothing holding you back. There isn't anything. It's Saturday. Give me this one. The Zoe's in full control, and I do believe we are part of the reason why the Zoe's in full control. But this is what happens. Sometimes laners are just better than other laners. Most of the time, laners are better than other laners. 100%. And you will lose these games. They're just L's, and it's over, and there's nothing you can do whatsoever. Can we hit some spells here? There we go. We'll take that one. All of this is true, which is why your impact is so important on those lanes. Because maybe the Zoe is 7-2-1. Now she dies. Shitting on the Victor. But if you had impacted that lane in a better way, could the Victor be shitting on the Zoe? You have no idea. It just looks like the Zoe's beating the Victor, but maybe the Victor's a terrible play from behind, but an amazing play from ahead. Some players are really good from behind, and some players are really bad from ahead, so yes, it does exist. You know? Does that make sense? Like, these are the things we gotta think about. Obviously, there's a Herald spawning. We're not even checking the... there we go, I was gonna say we're not checking the brushes. Caitlyn and Soraka back in the map, we're level 9. We see a low HP Caitlyn, we're trying to go in here, we do hit it. Ah, see that? See, now we're moving. Now we're going again. You see the confidence gets generated. It's not obviously perfect. There's misspells, but he's at least trying to make plays on the map. And where is that in the early game? And I remember distinctly. In fact, the guy that helps me in the private Discord has 1 million points in Echo. He doesn't play him really anymore, but mid lane, jungle, whatever. And in Season 7, he played a mid lane. I also did a lot of mid lane, basically Master Equivalent mid lane in Season 7 with Valkar, Zyra, Echo, and so on. And back when you could actually do those things. Oh, Echo's good though. And the problem was you needed to build a certain way in order to actually scale. And she's taking this because she's tilted. Like, she shouldn't. She's trolling. It sucks. Don't tilt. It's fine. The game still goes on. You let her do it. Whatever. Just focus on yourself. And we would build Spell Thieves when you could. Stack gold and just rush decap. It wasn't the best build, but there was a high elo challenger Echo at the time recommending this, because it allowed you to get to your AP spike sooner, right? The problem was, even though it helped us get there sooner, it still stifled our 1 item spike. You know, it was great for getting the wave clear in the roam, but it stifled our overall 2 to 3 item spike in terms of raw output, one-shot ability. And by the time you were ready to go, the game was over. By the time you were actually ready to win, your team had lost so much nice by the logs. And the same thing here is happening with junglers, and especially this brand. By the time you're fed with Leandries, by the time you're ready to go do things, by the time you're ready to actually be the 1v9 carry, the game's over. Because you were fiddling around the map with different jungle monsters and, honestly, empty space. Too obsessed with the space between the nucleus and the electron, and nothing was there. And the game ended. And you're like, oh, but guys, I could have carried. Look at my damage. Look at my KP. Yeah. Your team are, yeah, great. I'm glad you tried to have fun, Brand. The rest of us were miserable the entire time because you didn't help us. And I do think there's a lot of credence to this overall. So, obviously now we're going to have a bit of dead time. The map is okay as of right now. 3-2-1, 127. We've caught up in CS. We're going aggressive here. Obviously be cautious when you do these things. Zoe is really, really fed. There you go. Don't go and do this unless you can 1v9. Like if you're Rengar, Kindred, things like this where you know, I can do stuff. Here's a Zoe. Face shaking brush. Gets stunned into the W, into the ult. Soraka. That's why it's important to keep Soraka down. Like, I'm glad we got the Ocean Dragon, but you gotta keep her down because it really just affects Brand in such a shitty way. Really does. Oh, it's fine. We'll push it out here. You know, just smite your camps as best you can. Try and take your camps as best you can. I know the Misfortune's trolling, whatever it is, what it is, but she's not gonna lose you the game, right? Like, you can win games when people do this. You only lose because you let it affect you too much. So, back to base. Rylai's completed. I will actually say this, though, just as a side note on Brand. Rush the Rylai's, guys. The rushing of the Rylai's gives you a way better win rate. Gives you HP, survivability, slows, and utility. It just enables you a lot more. And because you have the Leandris passive basically in your kit, you can hold off on that. You have blue buff. You don't need the mana. And then you can get the Leandris second. This is about a 2 to 3 point higher percentage win rate than rushing Rylai's. Think about that. Now, this will change in Season 14 because Leandris will have the HP back, so you've got to factor that in overall, but look at this. The whole top lane, and again, it just reeks of everything I'm saying. Caitlyn dies before I can even swap the vision. That's a Baron. So you're looking at a situation where it's like, okay, guys, we held top lane. Now we can go ahead and do this Baron very quickly. Nice. This is solid. But again, you're always... just do it in the back of the pit. Just run away, do it in the back of the pit. Maybe we can even turn this if we can use our flash properly. That's not a good use of the flash. Or maybe it is. No, we missed that one. Aatrox is going to go in. Okay. I'm not results-based in this. Go to the back of the pit, walk the long way around, go back to base. No reason to coin flip this. No reason to... You're forcing this fight. You've left. You forced this fight. It's a throw because of your positioning. Like, obviously, it's the Victor and the Aatrox's fault for being dumb. They should let you die. But you baited them into the fight because you just didn't go to the back of the pit and base. And you're out. Very costly mistakes, yeah. Very costly mistakes. We get rinsed by the Zoe. So again, you're just on the back foot. And now because of your laziness, again, it's got nothing to do with rank. Brula did this in the World Finals. A lazy base behind the wall where he always does. And they used the tendency, killed him, got a Baron. You know, it does happen. But it's a mental boom boom. Rather than a skill issue, so just use your cop. Bitter. Okay. This is a dead ADC. Yeah, you gotta prevent the Zoe from getting ahead, but again now, they get a free Hextech Dragon for this. We stopped stacking the objectives, we made the comeback, and then a lazy mechanical mistake, I guess. Is it mechanical? Just dumb mistake. Costs you in a huge way. This is fine, but obviously their whole team is off the map, so we need to make sure we get this kill and get out. That's the most important thing here. Make the pick and bounce. Good. See Caitlyn mid lane. Obviously be careful here. You don't know where Zoe is. We're going blindly for the red. I hope Zoe kills you for it. It's okay to go full. I like doing this, but I have plants. It gives me vision. If I'm a Kindred, I know I can kill everybody. I like these plays. They're important. Now we can hippity-hoppity this and take the Krugs, but you don't know where everybody is. I like to flank here too. You gotta avoid the bubble. Make sure you hit this plate. Aatrox gave her a flash. But we should kill her anyway. Yeah, cool. I like this. This is a good move. Aggressive, pick the sideline over pushing, take their stuff, flank on the next person over pushing. The Lux kills the Soraka, cool, now we can push. This is good stuff. This is good. She's pushing here, but you do have to factor in the fog of war and that people could be rotating. So just always eyes up and ready to mechanically outplay. It does happen, especially in these behind games. Focus the turret, focus the turret, focus the turret. Hit the target in front of you as best you can. Ult 42 seconds. Cooldown's pretty decent right now, I think, actually, right? Yeah, 69, it's okay. We really just want the turret to get out. There you go, keep the stun. Shield burst, that's good. Good disengage. Rylas works nicely. Lux gets the kill. Nicely done. See? Range. Poke. Huge. Nice. Good. Gorilla. Ah, yeah. Gorilla likes. I was trying to roll the R's on the gorilla and wasn't happening. Have one of those days sometimes. Alright. Back to base. Take the blue. We do need that. You see from the spam, we got the demonics now. Huge. Again, we go hyper aggressive. Gold amount 12,000. We have the most in the game other than the TALIYAH, actually. So good jungle matchup here. But the TALIYAH is really, we haven't spoken about her in a while. She's 15, you're 15. 219 CS, she just control waves and camps. That's all you gotta do. Aatrox ults way too soon here. We do dodge the E. We do have flash, so I feel like we could go for an aggressive play again, considering people are bottom side. But Caitlyn places the traps. Someone needs to block that Zoe. There we go. Victor is low, someone needs to block that as well. We have more HP, so we could have. We dodge the rock here. That should be a dead TALIYAH if we play this properly. She does activate the stopwatch. Again, oh, flashes out. Everyone's split. They rotate. See, that's why when they're out of position, I like having someone who commands an engage. Go. Go forth. Engage, flash. Use everything. Is Zyra there? I hope I'm fed enough at this stage where I'm just flashing the traps. Full combo everybody. Do so much damage that Victor just has to chuck one laser beam. Everyone else can just run them over. Even if I die, I've done like 8,000 damage in my death, and that's a win, right? So you got to factor those things in as well. If you're not that fed, if you're struggling to make those aggressive moves, it will cost you as well. You've got to be able to make mechanical plays to win these kinds of games. Because, look, this is a rough game. I get it. Victor's shit. Victor dies, but, like, while you're playing with a toad on the side, they're actually recognizing that their most fed member, the brand, isn't even in the picture, so they can just kill everybody else. And yes, we have some trollings from the Caitlyn. Sorry, Misfortune. You gotta hit your spells here, guys. You gotta hit your spells. That's what point of Rylas is, so you can easily hit your double. Don't walk on the trap. So here, like... Whoa! The Soraka heal, though, was massive. Saved her life, but it was massive. You know, the brand's doing a decent job, but his spacing's still quite far. Like, mage spacing, you gotta be quite... really tippy-toey about it. You got to keep exact where your abilities are going to hit and be able to dodge with your feet. And he's just on the fringe. Like, you need to be a bit more aggressive, a bit more nimble on his feet, and make sure those spells are hitting. Obviously, he's missing too much, and now he gets too close in range. It does happen, but that's just a skill you can work on. I mean, look, it's platinum. You're not going to have mechanical gods, but yeah, just keep that in mind as well. So nothing happens for a little bit again. Hextech Dragon is available. We respawn. This should be our sole point. Like, straight up, this should be our sole point. Misfortune's out of the picture here. But again, I don't really care about her. She's 363. She's splitting. She's still causing rotations. Tom Kench is doing what Aatrox should be doing. Aatrox is pushed himself on the side here. Caitlyn's showing up from the right side. We should put this vision on. Just kill the Caitlyn. Just kill the Caitlyn. Just make sure you kill the ADC. There you go. Soraka has ult. Yes, she does. She doesn't see it. She saves it. That's good. Just keep picking off targets one at a time. Don't worry too much about it. Aatrox goes in. There's another kill here onto the TALIYAH. I hope. There you go. Keep your spacing as best you can. Tom Kench is a rough one. Yeah, Tom Kench is doing way more than the Aatrox at level 14. Obviously, that's what we want, but these fights are so difficult when you're the only Fed member as a mage. And again, if this happens on a lot of your games, look at your lanes. What's going on? Why is it always like this? And here he's just missing spells. You gotta nail those spells. I know it's difficult, but we definitely need to be doing that. Yeah. They let it reset because no smite. Smart by the blue team. And this is how we can look for kills. Gets the kill. Like, that's just disrespectful. Once you see the bubble, yeah, it's just, the Zoe's so fed. Sometimes you die. Sometimes you do die. And that is the nature of the game, and you don't win. But at 10-5-6, I feel like we could have 1v9 this game. All we needed was to enable one laner. One laner. Why are we going top side? There's a dragon up and you're trading it for Baron. I did this last night, I'm not joking. We had 2 inhibs down on this side, and the enemy team goes for a dragon. And we're like, alright, so we took the Baron. It's an inverse problem. and we ended because we had Baron and 2 inhibs down, so all we had to do was siege here and end. We're like, good job, guys, you got the Baron. They could have beaten us in a fight too. They just chose to go for the Dragon instead of the Baron. And here you see the opposite. Our losing team goes for the Baron, which is great, but your whole team is dead, and they're just going to push as a 5-stack and shove down the Nexus. You know, they don't need Baron to end. So you got to make sure you're hitting the right objectives. A little bit of a late game tip there, but overall, close game in the end. Brand did a nice job coming back into it. Obviously, good damage. But that early game needs to be 10x better, and if it is, you'll win these games easily. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I will see you all in the next one.